Today's guest made $20 million at just 23 years old.
Yeah, I got a Koenigsegg.
How much does that car?
3.6 million.
He started out flipping sneakers in high school before using the profits to go all in on day trading. But after years of being unprofitable and losing all the money he'd ever made, he found himself delivering DoorDash just to survive.
When I hit negative $2,000 in my bank account, that was like the first time that I ever felt like so vulnerable enough to be like, help me. They were like, no. And that was when I was like, oh, I need to do this.
Today, he's turned the pain of hitting rock bottom into a trading empire, with his unique strategy making him one of the most controversial figures in finance. In this episode, we'll break down the trades that made him millions, explore the dark moments that nearly broke him, and unveil the mindset shift that's taken pain and turned it into his competitive edge.
So I got like so frustrated where I was like, I'm turning off YouTube and I'm just going to stare at the charts for hours and just see what it tells me. And then I started noticing.
TJR, welcome to the Jack Neel Podcast.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, man. Excited to have you here. You just came in from the Bay and you're in Malibu and you live out in Puerto Rico. You're neighbors with Rob the Bank, right? Or pretty close to each other in Dorado?
Yeah.
Rob was a great podcast. I think people really enjoyed that one.
He's awesome.
But yeah, man. Guys, also TJR, you can't see it, but he's like 7 feet tall, bro.
I try and tell people, dude. That's the first thing everybody always says when they first meet me. They're like, oh my God, you're way taller in person. And I feel like I have to make a post like once every month being like, guys, I'm tall. Like, people just don't believe the shit.
Yeah, Rob kind of warned me. I was like, man, dude, you are like much bigger than I thought. He's like, dude, TJ's like bigger than me. I was like, that's insane. But yeah, man, how do you tell people what you do for a living?
Most of the time I just say crypto and day trading, and that, like, I don't know. Whenever people ask me what I do for a living, it's typically because they're like, this dude's wearing a lot of jewelry, or he's driving a nice car, or he's whatever, like in a room with a bunch of other rich people and they're just asking around. So, you know, if you say crypto and day trading, people are just like, yeah, that would make sense.
I don't know how much you want to share about this, but TJR, you're 23. How much money did you make last month?
Last month? What was last month? I didn't trade like at all last month. I spent a lot of money last month. I spent probably like 500 grand last month. Last month I was in Europe like the entire time. I don't think I made like a single fucking dollar last month, if I'm keeping it a buck. Yeah, I was at a net loss for last month. Yeah.
Did you guys go to Marbella, or where'd you go to?
Nah, it was like a month-long kind of blitz. We just kind of kept adding characters as it went on. It started off with me, my best friend Carson, and also business partner, manager. He does a lot of things for me. We started off in London, and then from there we went to Barcelona, and then from there we went to Ibiza. That's where Rob ended up meeting us, and then from there we went to Saint-Tropez. That's where we linked up with like Iman, Jordan Welch, and then we were supposed to go to Amsterdam too, but I was like, yo, I'm super done. I'm way too fried. I gotta get home.
Yeah, Amsterdam's fun though.
I know, I really wanted to go, but it was like so many pills had been consumed and like so many beverages where I was just like, dude, this needs, like, my brain is like on 1 HP right now. I got to go home.
Okay. So you spent $500K a month.
Yeah.
In a month. So I think people can at least assume that you've made a decent amount of money in your life. So if I knew nothing about day trading, how would you explain it to me as though I were a 10-year-old?
You wake up and you try and guess where bars are going to go on a computer screen. And if you're right, you make money. And if you're wrong, you lose money. It's like a game.
How long were you wrong for? You're wrong still sometimes.
Yeah. I wasn't wrong every time when I was first starting, but I was wrong way more than I was right when I was first starting. It took probably like 2.5 years for me to like actually, and that's the thing, like trading is so interesting where you can know where price wants to go. You can know where the bars want to go on the computer screen, like within probably like the first 3 months or even 6 months. And that was like the case for me. Like I knew where it was going to go, but your emotions end up causing you to lose money. So like like my daily bias and understanding where price wanted to go, that was on point. But like my emotions, my risk management caused me to just be at a net massive negative. So yeah, there's a lot of other variables than just knowing where price is going to go. I think knowing where price is going to go is probably the easiest thing about trading, believe it or not. And then managing your risk and your emotions is probably the hardest thing.
What's the most common emotions?
Fear, greed, like impatience, overconfidence. But yeah, fear and greed kind of encapsulate all of those.
That makes sense. Yeah, we actually had pretty recently, our last podcast posted was with Chris Camillo, who I didn't realize this when I filmed with him, but I think he has the best trading record of all time for like just individual investor, not like a hedge fund or something. And it's like 70% for 17 years straight, like average annual returns. But his methodology of trading is completely different to yours. Have you heard of like social arbitrage and that kind of thing? It's kind of like how meme coin traders trade based like off news. And
Yeah.
like try to find like data.
So he's like fundamental. He's not really looking at charts. He's more so looking at news and headlines and then making like plays off of that.
Exactly. Yeah. But he goes like really deep into, I mean, his method is kind of like TikTok comments. Like he like watches like hours of brain rot every single day. And he's like a 40, 50-year-old guy and like kind of gathers market sentiment looking at that data.
And he trades what, indexes or stocks?
Yeah, stocks.
Okay, interesting.
Usually public companies. Yeah.
I find that interesting how he would be able to find enough like fundamental analysis from brain rot TikTok comments to be able to make a sound decision on a publicly traded company.
He used to own something called like ticker tags, and they would like amalgamate like Twitter data and try to tell market sentiment. Like they would assign like positive, neutral, negative scores to like kind of understand companies. And I think he's just done it so much that he can kind of just gauge it himself. Like this is the sentiment about Crocs. And this is the sentiment about Crocs last year, the sentiment about Crocs the year before, and this is an outlier, so I'm gonna like go long or go short, whatever it is on it. But yeah, man, there are several ways to trade. Social arb, technical analysis, people trading the news, like people getting calls or what are they called, tips in trading groups. When you strip away all the noise, like what actually works?
Whatever works for you. I know that's like super vague and that's probably not the answer that you want, but every single like good professional trader that I know, they all trade a different way. And the best way to go about trading is find a strategy that works for you, that makes sense to you. So for him, like for example, he gathers a whole bunch of data and then makes a decision based on like he thinks that price is going to go a certain way based on the data that he gets. I think that price is going to go a certain way based off of how the candlesticks are moving. And everybody makes a decision based on what makes sense to them. So the best thing is finding a strategy that makes sense to you and why you think price is going to move, and that's going to be your edge. So everybody's edge is always going to be different in the market. I think if you were to copy and paste my strategy and attempt to trade it, then you would be unsuccessful because unless it actually makes sense to you for why price is moving the way that it does off of certain levels. So, yeah, like.
I guess a better question might be what doesn't work? Like what's the bullshit? Or can most of it work?
Well, that's the thing. I know people like, dude, there's strategies that I would call like bullshit, but I also know like people that are making far more money than me trading those strategies. But in my head, I'm like, that doesn't make sense for why price would move that way. It doesn't like, I can't comprehend this. There's this one guy that I don't know him personally, and I've never actually talked to him, but I was told about him from someone in Dubai. Apparently, he's just like super into astrology, and he makes market decisions off of like just astrology, which sounds ridiculous, but he has a really good win rate and makes a shit ton of money. So You know, it's like you got to just find what works for you. And if it's working, then, you know, by all means, keep doing it.
What do you think kind of validates a strategy though? Like, would he have to trade, like be profitable for like every year for 10 years? Like, what do you, like, what's impressive?
That's ridiculous. I haven't even done that. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, you just, like, you can psych yourself out, and that's what happens to a lot of unprofitable traders in the beginning. What is it? The Dunning-Kruger effect, where like you go up and like you win a couple trades, or you have your first winning week and you're like, boom, I'm profitable. And then it just all goes downhill from there, until you actually like slowly, and then like your confidence is at the fucking floor because you're like, oh shit, I thought I was profitable. I thought I was good at this, but I'm actually not. And there's a lot more to learn. And then you like humble yourself, and then you're almost like skeptical. You get your first winning week and you're like, I'm not profitable. I've seen this before. And then you might break even the next week and then win again. And you're almost just like forever telling yourself that you're not profitable until you have like a month or 2 months or 3 months and then 5 months and then a full year. And you're like, oh shit, like this is actually making me money. And then you can actually regain that confidence.
That makes sense. I guess with day trading, it's a bit different because you can tell after a few months of being profitable every single day or like every single week. I'm not sure exactly what metric it is, like that you're going to continue to be profitable. Like, do you think your strategies will continue to work for like the next 10 years or like what?
No, I was just talking to some people about this. So I have YouTube videos from like 2 years ago or like a year and a half ago of how I was trading back then, and I was making really good money. But if I were to use those, also keep in mind, I was a worse trader back then because obviously I get better as time goes on trading every single freaking day. So that's the one thing that I kind of hate about being a YouTuber that teaches people how to trade. Like they'll look at these whatever like free courses or full-fledged YouTube videos that go super in depth of how I traded 2 years ago, and they're like, hey, you don't trade this exact way in your most recent trade recap. Rah, 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 you broke your strategy. And it's like, no, bro, I just adapted with the market, because the market doesn't stay the same. It's constantly changing. So my strategy, I was just telling someone this, my strategy 3 months ago, there was a confluence that I look for like divergences on indexes. So like the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, they'll occasionally show divergences, and one of the indexes will be lagging, so a little bit behind, while the other index is leading. So like the S&P 500 will be slightly lower than where NASDAQ is. NASDAQ is like pushing higher, but the S&P is kind of stagnant. 3 months ago, I would want to take a trade on the S&P 500 because I know that the S&P 500, because it's correlated to NASDAQ, is going to end up going higher, but it's stagnating right now. So I would want to take a long position on that. But I lost a whole bunch of trades doing that because the S&P 500, it would slowly move up, but then whatever NASDAQ would reverse after making this massive move, and then I would get stopped out on the S&P 500 trade. So now I'm inversing that confluence, and I'm taking the trade on the leading index because I know that that one will have the volume and the volatility to move to where I think price is going to go. I know that sounded like a whole bunch of gibberish, but that's a perfect example of having a tool or a confluence and me trading it a certain way literally 3 months ago to now me seeing the market not necessarily adapt to like whatever faking out this confluence, but seeing how it reacts off of a way that I used to trade, and me saying, okay, this is no longer working. How can I game the system, or how can I actually take advantage of this by noticing what is happening over the past couple times? So I'll lose a couple trades, and then I'll be like, hey, after doing my journals, NASDAQ's probably the better play on this instead of taking the S&P 500. And then from there, you start taking trades on NASDAQ, and then you win.
When you first looked at day trading, did you just assume like this is a good way to make money, or were you skeptical of it at first? Because so many people hear that term and they like see it as a scam, which I have disagreement with personally. I think you can make money with pretty much anything if you're good at it. But like, were you just like, oh, this is the way, and then you had good success early on and kind of just doubled down on it?
No, and actually I started getting into day trading, or maybe I was just naive and didn't do my due diligence, but when I got into day trading, I never like heard of those like scam allegations or like ever heard of like the IMLs or like the pyramid scheme groups where it's like, you know, you try and get a whole bunch of people on and then underneath you and whatever, sign up to this, that. I never saw that. I just saw the potential of what it could do. And I was like, I want to do this. And then also once I started, I was about to say playing it because it literally is a game to me. But once I started trading, I got addicted to it and I loved it so much. And I was like, okay, like I'm going to make this work no matter what because I love doing this.
How did you come to your exact strategy? And is that a common strategy, the one that you kind of use?
No, like I was saying, everybody has a different strategy. Some like the people that trade similarly to me, like the confluences are the same. So like a confluence is like, okay, I'll say this in like normal people's terms, but like a pattern, okay? And I'm by all means not a pattern day trader. Do not label me as that, but just in simple version, it's a pattern that the market shows consistently and often reacts off of with like a lot of consistency, and you stack all those confluences together to be able to create your strategy. So people use the same confluences as me. They might mark them out differently. They might label them as different things. And they might put the confluences together different ways to create their own strategy. But yeah, I wouldn't say everybody trades the exact same way as me. They trade in a way that makes sense for them. At least the good traders. The bad traders copy and paste and they're unsuccessful for that reason.
Is it a lot of testing? Like you're just testing different things and then you're like, oh, this like tends to work?
Oh yeah, dude. Like literally that's how I was able to actually get my first step in profitability. Was like I got so fed up with watching all these YouTube videos because I was like that same copy and paste. I was like, oh, boom, I copied this dude's strategy and then I tried it for a week and it didn't fucking work. And then I tried this dude's strategy that said it would have an 80% win rate and I lost every single fucking time. So I got like so frustrated where I was like, fuck it, I'm turning off YouTube and I'm just going to stare at the charts for hours and just see what it tells me. And then I started noticing patterns and I started noticing certain things that would happen at certain times. Like when London session would open, it would frequently manipulate a high or manipulate a low and then go in the opposite direction. And it took me losing multiple times and noticing like, fuck, I get stopped out every single time London session opens, and then it goes in the direction that I wanted price to go in the first place. So it's like picking up on those little things. Realistically, like the best thing that you can do is, I'm even saying this as somebody that tries to teach people on YouTube myself, find what causes price to move on the charts and use YouTubers for that. But after that, bro, turn all that shit off and just put yourself in a room with a computer screen and just notice the patterns yourself. And because like, it's like if LeBron James made a 20-hour boot camp of how to become him at the skill set of him, and you sit down and you watch that 20-hour boot camp versus somebody that just picks up a basketball and plays for 20 hours and both of them start at the same level, who's going to get better? The person that was playing, not the person that sat down and watched and then goes and tries to apply it. They're going to suck. So you just got to like take more action than just sitting and watching.
I think that's great advice, yeah, because people get stuck in this loop of wanting to watch LeBron and then they want to watch like, I don't know, a Kobe course and then Michael Jordan course, and then like you're just stuck in this loop of learning all these different things and it's kind of slowing you down. You basically need to learn all the stuff from one person who you decently vet out, maybe two people, and then just try to double down on applying it and find your own alpha that way. I think that's great advice. What's the current stock market sentiment in 2025? Right there.
Send that bitch to the moon.
All year?
Yeah.
Interesting. Why?
We just had a 30% crash, dude. And we're already back above all-time highs. That bitch is moving.
The market's getting weird, man. Just like the past few years with social media and having a president and Elon that are kind of manipulating things around.
We're in a big wealth creation time right now. I think you know, who knows how long this is going to last, but this is this is a time to be someone that is invested in the financial markets for sure.
Really quick, I have a small gift for you. I began working with this company in 2022, so I was super excited when Moomoo reached out to sponsor this podcast and give you guys some free stuff. Moomoo is an advanced all-in-one trading platform that helps you monitor changes in the stock market with all the data you could ever need to find the best investments for you. What I really love about Moomoo is the community feature, where traders can exchange ideas and strategies between each other. This gives you an advantage in understanding what people think about certain stocks and track any upcoming news or events that could affect your trades. You also are able to trade in both US and Hong Kong markets, all from the same app, which gives you easy access to more opportunities. If you sign up before September 25th, you get an 8.1% APY cash sweep for your first 3 months, which is basically unheard of. But here's the really cool part. If you make a new deposit in your account, you get a free share of NVIDIA worth up to $1,000 cash. So guys, if you want to claim your free stock, go to start.moomoo.com/Jack Neel. You can also scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description. Anyway, guys, back to the podcast. Yeah, your profits from your trading, does a lot of that go into like real estate, stocks, crypto?
No, I don't really do real estate. I own my house in cash out in Puerto Rico. Most of it, I have a wealth manager. I give him a whole bunch of stuff. I have a whole bunch of crypto and have a portfolio of just S&P 500, a couple stocks that I like. And
you do some private investments, right?
As in like private equity stuff or like investing in friends' companies?
I guess like friends. Yeah, I think Squid said something like, this is one of the investors in my company. He made a video about that.
Yes. At the time, I was his biggest investor in his company. I think someone beat me though. But yeah, I frequently invest in friends' companies with a lot of capital.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. So you said we're bullish for 2025.
Yes.
How much money does someone need to start day trading, or how much money do you need to make 10K a month day trading?
Okay, yeah, those two questions are very different. For how much money do you need for someone to start day trading? No matter how much money you have, you should start with no money at all and do demo trading, paper trading, because you are going to lose, and you're going to lose a lot of fucking money, so you better just do it with fake money at first. And then if you're someone that, you know, you show consistently that you're making good money on demo trading and you feel confident in your edge and you feel confident in your risk management and your emotions, and you're like, I'm ready to make my first $10,000 month, dude, you actually don't even need that money. At least nowadays, there's so many different companies and there's so many different tools that you can use to leverage your capital. Like a lot of the kids nowadays that are learning from me or learning from these other day trading YouTubers or TikTokers, whatever you want to call them, there's like a lot of these guys aren't trading on live accounts. They're using prop firm accounts, and they're making like literally 6 figures a month, and they're only I think they probably only pay like $5,000 to like $10,000 a month to like be buying these prop firm accounts, and they're making ridiculous amounts of money. Then again, it's not an infinite money glitch because you have to be good at trading to do that. But for someone that has low capital with a really good edge, like if you're a good trader, bro, you can make your first 10K month like literally instantly if you're working a regular job. And again, I don't want this, like day trading's really fucking difficult. So
you think you need like at least 1,000 hours in it?
Yeah, for sure, bro. You got to have some time, bro. Like and I'm not mad, but I paved the fucking way, bro, for a lot of these kids to turn profitable. Like when I was learning how to trade, no offense to any of the YouTubers at the time, but like, dude, I just feel like there wasn't as brutally honest information out there. Like, and that was just kind of the day and age of like the money entrepreneur space at the time. It wasn't as honest. It was like, I'll only show you the wins. I'm not going to show you the losses. And this it isn't just with day trading. It was with everything. Like I'm sure with drop shipping, it was the same. With Amazon FBA, it was the same. But now I for sure, I don't know any other day trader, respectfully, that has came into the scene like I did and was just like completely open and honest about like, I'm losing fucking money, but I'm also making money And this is the reality of day trading. And now I think since I did that, there's a whole bunch of other new mentors, whatever, that are doing the same thing, that are being open and honest with their trading. And it's making these kids learn how to day trade so much faster and so much better. And they're actually making money doing it. And it's like, I'm pissed that I didn't have that when I was starting. So these people are able to learn how to trade a lot quicker than I was able to back when I was getting started.
I wish people were more honest about it. That's something I try to do on this podcast, is like ask people how their, I don't know, course business works, while also being like, I'm pro course, but like tell us how it works so you don't just necessarily seem like you're grifting. Because some people will just like be like, oh, you need to figure out how to do X skill. And by the way, I do teach this in my community, but like they never like are like, yeah, this community makes money, but I still like doing it and people have had success. You know what I mean? Like There's just like a lot of people who grift it and they try to like.
Something big with courses is like some people, I'm not grifting, but some people, like me personally, I didn't need to buy a course in order to push me to take action because I just love doing it so much and I was taking action regardless. Some people need to like kind of dig themselves in a hole and put themselves like financially in debt and just say like, look, I put money down and now I have to do this because I put a certain amount of money down, and then that causes them to take action. And then that's what ends up like causing them to either like one, think the course worked, or think whatever the mentorship that they received worked. And it's like, could they have done that without the mentor if they just took the same steps? Like, was all that information readily available for them online already? So it's like, you know, there's this weird thing that I always talk about with courses. It's like, yes, mentors can be super useful. And if you are someone that is actively taking action and you aren't finding success, then a mentor, I think, would be useful to you. But if you're someone that's half-assing it and someone that's just like watching YouTube videos and like you're putting in like an hour or two a week, and then you go and buy a course and then that causes you to put 10 hours a week into this, and then you're like, oh, holy shit, it's starting to work now. It's like, that probably wasn't the course. It probably wasn't the mentor. You just started doing more.
And you put yourself in an uncomfortable position. You know, it's like, oh, I spent money on this thing, so I have to double down on it.
Exactly, yeah.
What's the minimum profit percentage you aim for on a trade?
It depends. Some days I de-risk. Some days I go higher risk. I'll typically look for like, on like a low risk day, 10 to like $20,000. On like a normal risk day, it's like 30,000. On like a high risk day, sometimes I can make like a lot, like 80,000, 90,000.
That's only a few percentage points, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were asking monetary, but yeah.
I think that's like a thing people don't understand about day trading is like you're trying to only be profitable 3% on your whatever amount you have in the account for that month.
I mean, yeah, it depends. Like, that's the other thing with day trading. It's like I said, last month, I didn't trade. It was also because I was going crazy, but like I didn't trade. And then also this month right now, not last week, but the week prior, I made $135,000 in that week. Last week, I didn't trade at all. I haven't traded the 2 days of this week. So like 1 week can make up your entire P&L of a month. And it's like, it's consistent income, if that makes sense.
And that 135, that's like a 3% gain on, or what, do you know?
No, that's a smaller percent gain than 3.
Like how much are you at risk, or like how much is in this account that you're trading with? How does that work? Like if you had $20 million theoretically, do you put like $5 million in an account and you're trying to like grow this 3% a month?
Nah, not really. Like you just, at least once you have a lot of money, you kind of just throw enough money in there to like be able to use the leverage to your advantage. And like, I'm not really thinking in percentages now. I'm mainly just thinking in dollars. Versus when you're starting, you're like, that's part of the problem. You're thinking in percentages because you're like, oh, I need to risk 1% because then like 1% per day or whatever. because if I risk more, then, oh no, I'll lose the account. I'm no longer at the point where I'm scared of losing an account because I have so much money in there where the amounts that I'm risking, I'm never at risk of losing the account. So yeah, like I couldn't even tell you like what % of the account that I'm risking per day. But when you're starting, like that's what you typically do.
Do you know guys that own prop firms?
It's not the same as it used to be. Back in the day, dude, yeah, I know some guys that were pulling in paper.
Like if you're a profitable trader, like top 0.01% in the group of people trading, did they like ban your account? Have you heard about that? Because I've had people tell me that.
I have. It depends on the prop firm. There's some prop firms that will move you to live funds because prop firms, all of them are simulated funds because they can't trust whatever these random people, even if they pass an account, they're pretty much betting on the statistic that 98% of traders fail. And even if they get like 1 or 2 payouts, they know that down the line, their company will be profitable off of that trader. But if someone's consistently making money over and over and over again, the prop firm, or again, it depends, the prop firm will either ban them and be like, you're too good, go trade on a live account, like you've rinsed us, or they will move them over to live funds, and then there will be like a profit split between the firm and the trader where the firm gets to keep some of the money because they're supplying them with capital. But at that point, you might as well just be a live trader. You know, like why do you, like if you're making consistent money from a prop firm to the point where they're like, hey, we want to move you live, like you should have extracted enough money from that company to be able to have your own live account and be able to make money consistently on your own.
Would you be like the type of candidate that would be banned from a prop firm? Like with your kind of trading record?
I haven't traded on prop firms in a minute. I mean, yeah, I would like to say yes. It would take time though, because like those people that get banned, like it takes like, I don't know, a year, maybe a year and a half. Like I have a lot of friends that they're not, like, sounds bad, but I think that I'm a better trader than them. And the prop firms have moved them to live accounts. So I'm like, yeah, I would assume that I would be in the same boat as them.
Have you met anyone that is a better trader than you?
Yeah, of course, dude. Yeah. A lot of people, yeah. And most of them aren't online.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's one trading rule you break all the time?
All the time? I don't break my trading rules very frequently, dude. That's like, that's
or I
like
guess something weird you do
rule
that like most other people would be like, why on earth is he trading like that?
I mean, this is something that a lot of profitable traders do that unprofitable traders like will make fun of me specifically for. Like I was saying, I'll go a week and a half or like a week without trading and people will be like, oh, he's doing anything but trading. And it's like, you're laughing, but losing money and I'm making money and I'm not trading. So like, you know, like the market isn't going to present an opportunity every single fucking day. There's an opportunity every single day, but not with your specific strategy. So there's weeks like throughout the year and throughout the months where you should not be trading and the market is just not going to give you good results. And I feel like the common misconception of a lot of unprofitable or beginner traders, they get into the market and they're just like, yeah, dude, like I'm trading, I have to trade every single day. And that is so far from the truth. And a lot of beginner traders are like, oh, whatever, TJR does anything but trading. Yeah, I've done anything but trading for the past week and a half and I'm still up $135,000 for this month. And I made that in a week. So, you know.
Like, are you looking at macroeconomics? Are you looking at news at all? Like, I know the actual trades are very, very technical, but yeah, do you consider those factors much?
Yes, sort of to both of those. Macroeconomics, yes. So like when the tariff news came out, it was like, look, this is just, for me personally, I'm trading off of candlesticks. These candlesticks are going to print ridiculous from something outside of the current market, like draws on liquidity and imbalances. So that's not good for me to trade. And then there's like, so that's like unscheduled news, macroeconomics, boom, like flash crash from tariff announcements. That's unpredictable. I'm not going to be trading on those days. And then there's like scheduled news like FOMC, non-farm payroll, CPI news data, where I'm conscious of those. I rarely trade on CPI news data.
What's CPI news data?
It's like interest rates. So like when those things come out, it's like you have to be conscious of them, see how the market moves. Because they're scheduled, you know when they're going to happen. So either you don't trade before them and then you wait for it to happen, you see how the market reacts, and then you can make a sound decision off of that. So I guess going back to all that, I do not trade based off of like if interest rates are lower than expected or if they get like whatever raised or lowered. I'm only taking trades off of what I see on the candlesticks, not based off of what is coming out of the news. I invest based off of what's coming out of the news because the news typically has a more long-term reflection on the market. But CPI news data, like you could have data that comes out that would and should be bullish for the market, but the market will crash. And it's like within that small time frame that I'm looking to trade. So it's like it's just too unpredictable within the small time frames. But on the higher time frames,
you're not trading off of these factors, but you're thinking about how these factors affect what you already do.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Okay, interesting. And then your investments, do you sell your stocks?
No. I don't trade my investments. I keep my trading to my trading. I keep my investments as just hold them.
What's the most you think you've made off of a trade?
That depends on like if you're talking from like a day trade or like
probably a day trade. Yeah.
Over 6 figures. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then you said your investments, you're not really doing swing trades, but you do lots of crypto. Are you currently trading crypto?
I don't trade crypto. I invest in it.
Did you ever like swing trade like meme coins, that kind of thing?
Yeah. Meme coins, altcoins. I'm out of that game though now. I have too much money where it's too volatile. I don't want to look at those assets consistently. It takes a lot of time out of the day. It takes a lot of brain space. And I would much rather just, once you get to a certain amount of capital, it's like that 6 to 7% per year ends up being a lot. So I'm at that point where there's no reason for me to be shooting for the moon and stars with something that's risky when I could just put it in something that's solid.
Were you always good with numbers?
Yeah, I mean, I was always like good in school. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, did you liquidate Brez scales?
Jeez. Yes. No, Brez is my boy. Fun fact, actually. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to say this because he knows it happened. I can't remember when this was, but it was like a while ago. And I think he was like trying to learn about crypto and like he tried to like get into my mentorship when I like first started it. He was obviously doing like his brand scaling shit. But I think he just wanted like another side hustle on the side. And like I didn't know about him at the time. And then he blew up and one of my sales guys was like, bro, I think I took a call with this dude. And I was like, oh, wow, what the fuck? But yeah, no, Brez is cool. He's crushing it.
What's your like high ticket thing?
It's just mentorship. And that's the thing that this is one thing, like I'm anti just pre-recorded videos because in my personal opinion, all of that information is already online. So the way that I run my stuff is I do have pre-recorded videos that gives them like full A to Z, like, hey, this is how you can learn how to trade. But then following that, they're in my group for 2 months. And I'm getting on direct calls with them because that's like and again, in my opinion, that's what a mentor should be doing is like if it's just a pre-recorded video, it's like, dog, that's a YouTube video and all of that information is online for free and they could get that anywhere. But when it comes to specific questions with mistakes that they're making, that's where a mentor can actually change shit for you, where you're like, hey, I did this and then this didn't work. And because of my experience in the market, I can say, I know exactly what's going wrong with this. And a YouTube video won't be able to solve those it's like you have a boat that has it starts off with a bunch of big ass holes. YouTube videos can clog those big ass holes up. But if there's a bunch of tiny little holes, there's not going to be YouTube videos that can patch those up as quick as a mentor can. It says like, yo, like I've seen these mistakes before, or they'll just fully help them skip over those mistakes by something that they say in a call or something.
It's interesting too, because like with pre-recorded content, people don't really talk about the mistakes that people make. But when you talk with a mentor, they can quickly identify, hey, you shouldn't be doing this thing. You shouldn't be doing this thing. And oftentimes it's more effective to realize what mistakes you're making and remove that shit than add new stuff. Who are the guys with the orange shirts in Miami?
Dude, those guys fucking suck. I don't know what the business is behind that, but I know they're doing some dirty shit. Those guys, oh man, they're just the worst. They're in New York, they're in Brickell, probably some people on like Rodeo Drive. I'm pretty sure I got approached by like some of those guys before while I was shopping in Rodeo. But yeah, they just stand on the corner and then they lure you in with a great hook talking about like what is the only state that ends with the letter K. I swear to God, that's one of the ones that they use, and I know all the answers to them. It's New York, bitch. Okay, and then you get it right, and they're like, "Oh, that's great. Boom. Can I have a minute of your time?" Or they just ask you like these thought-provoking questions, and then they rope you in to like stand there and be like, "Oh, let me think about it," and then boom, you're on the hook, and then they make you donate. Again, I'm sorry if it's actually towards a good cause, but they like fully like grip you in and sign your life away to like pay money to some bullshit ass cause. Like, dude, I can't stand those people. Not that I can't stand the cause that they're supporting or whatever, but like, dude, like just the way that they go about it is ridiculous. Like you're fully luring these people in and then being like, gotcha, give me $100 to support like some shit that you didn't even fucking know about. Like what?
You think they're like targeting wealthy looking people
A
who don't want their
million
time
percent.
wasted, and they're like just trying to waste as much time as possible and keep you there?
I don't know if they're thinking that deep. Those guys aren't that smart.
And you bought a t-shirt or something?
No, it's not a t-shirt. Bro, that's the thing. And then they make you feel like shit too. Like, bro, yes, I did end up paying one time and it pissed me off because I ended up looking, I was like, what did I even pay for? And I looked deeper into it. I'm like, this shit's some bullshit. But yeah, they lured me into it. And then whatever, you're like signing away your freaking life on some form. And then, yeah, they like make you tap your credit card. And it's like just to donate to, again, I don't know what the cause is, but why the fuck are those people in the orange shirts? I can tell you this much. Again, maybe some of them care about the cause. I can tell you this much. They wouldn't be standing out in that fucking heat. They wouldn't be doing all that if they weren't getting some commission. That shit's a fucking play. That shit's some sort of pyramid scheme, and I'm onto it, bro. So I'm trying to get those people the fuck out of Miami, especially in Brickell. I'm trying to make sure that everyone's screaming at them.
This is a good one. Why'd you make your profile picture a black version of you?
Bro, it was such a good play. So listen, there's all of these bot accounts that whenever you follow me on TikTok or on Instagram, it's like, boom, you instantly get followed by like 30 different versions of me. And some people, unfortunately, are low enough IQ to think that I'm just like refreshing my feed and following them back. Like, dude, I get like 100 followers like literally within a minute on Instagram. And then they also think that like I'll go out of my way to DM them like, yo, bro, how's your trading going? Guys, I will never do that in my entire life. As much as I love you, I do not have time to be chatting with you in the DMs, asking how your trading's going, and then following up with like, hey, give me $10,000. Like, I do not need that money. Okay. So I was like, bet, let's put these guys in a moral situation. So I changed my profile picture to a black version of me to see what the bots would do. Because one, all the bots have like the same profile picture as me. So I was like, cool, I'll swap this and then see if again, put them in a situation of like, oh shit, will the bots change their profile picture to this? Or will they think, wait, no, that's not him. So whatever, they won't believe it as much. And I think it worked pretty well. I hope so.
You don't think they are doing it still?
Oh no, they're definitely still doing it because I see the bots with the black profile picture. I need to change it up.
Is this like AI bots? Like, who are these people running this?
Bro, like overseas.
I need to find like a wealthy guy that like owns a bunch of this scam, because Like, it's just been happening for so long.
They're probably making some paper, bro. I get like once a day, I get someone that's just like, dude, what the fuck? I paid you for the mentorship and you just went ghost. And I'm like, dog, like, that was not me. He was like, look, here's the DMs. And I was like, that's where you're in the wrong.
Why do you fly to Miami every 2 weeks? Do you still do that?
Start my Ferrari. No, I no longer do it because I sold my Ferrari.
You sold it?
I did. Yes.
You got a crazier and better car?
Way better. Way crazier. I don't think anybody's done the shit that I just did at my age.
Is it Brabus something?
No, I already have one of those.
I'm not super into cars, but is that like the most expensive Brabus mod you can get?
Nah, you can get, there's like some $1 million Brabuses out there.
Did you get a Bugatti?
I didn't. That's too played out, but on the same timeline, not a Pagani either, but that's in the same range as well.
Not going to give us one small hint?
I mean, it depends when this pod comes out.
Oh, it'll probably come out in like 2 months.
Oh, 2 months? Yeah, I got a Koenigsegg.
How much was that car?
Koenigsegg Regera, 3.6 million.
Did you buy that one in cash?
No.
That'd be insane.
Yeah. No, that one was not a cash play. But
is that in PR or are you getting it shipped to?
It's in the Bay Area right now because I'm taking it to Monterey Car Week. And then that will not be going to Puerto Rico. The roads would eat that thing alive. It'll be in Miami. And who knows how long I keep that, but probably a while.
That makes more sense, the roads in Puerto Rico. I was wondering why you didn't just move the Ferrari to Puerto Rico.
There's also excise tax there. So if you ship a gas-powered vehicle to Puerto Rico, you have to pay like 30% of whatever the MSRP is of the gas-powered car. So when I shipped the Brabus, bro, so much. You have to write like literally a 6-figure check just to get it released from the port. Like, and that's like, again, in fucking cash. And again, no offense to the people in Miami, bro, y'all ain't doing that shit. All your cars are fucking financed. And like, y'all can't, y'all are not doing that shit.
Have you seen like any real wealth in Miami? Or do you think?
Yeah, of course, bro. Yeah, there's plenty of real wealth in Miami. 100%. Yeah. But the stuff that you see on Instagram, that ain't it. That's not the real wealth at all. That's fake bullshit. None of those people are wealthy.
That's what's interesting about you and Rob to me is like you guys actually like have it like that, but you also like show it off. And a lot of the people that I've met that have it like that, like are like so scared to like show anything off. Like, what's your kind of philosophy there?
I don't feel like it. I mean, yeah, I guess it's showing it off, but like we just buy what we like.
Yeah.
Wealthy people buy what they like as well. They have yachts, they got jets, they got cars. Like, you know, it's just because we're online. Yeah, it's just because we're online. That's why you see it. But we're buying, if anything, we're doing way less than those people. They're just not online.
Is there anything material that makes you more confident?
Cool clothes for sure. Because if you're not like dressed well, then yeah, you're just not as confident. You know, look good, feel good. So,
is there a specific item?
Nah. All of my closet is pretty cool.
Like you're going on a date with Brez scales. You're nervous. Like
if I'm going on a date, I'll probably keep it classy. I won't wear any streetwear, and like streetwear is what I think is like kind of fun because I can look like ridiculous, and then people will like give me weird looks. But if I'm going on like a formal dinner or like a date, I'm just wearing like a button up and plain like pants. Maybe I'll wear like a cool watch and like a little bit of jewelry to like kind of distance myself a little bit.
You don't have any jewelry today. Huh?
No, dude, plain Jane. When I'm in LA, I left everything, bro. I didn't leave. I didn't bring no jewelry, nothing, bro. I'm scared. I'm horrified of, yeah, bro, especially when once you get like 1 million followers, it's like, fuck, dude, especially having 1 million followers and everybody knows that you have money. That's the biggest target on your back ever, bro. Everyone wants you. Everyone's trying to get you. So yeah, bro, I got to move careful. Most of the time when I come to LA, I need security for sure. Not because I'm scared of people running up and taking pictures, but I'm scared of people running up and trying to take my shit. This time I didn't because I'm only here for like a day and a half and I knew where I was going. But yeah, most of the time if I'm like on some wander vacation, dude, I'm freaked out about that shit.
Yeah, I never wear a watch in LA. I have like 2 okay watches someone gave me, and I'm like, not fucking here, bro.
Spooky, bro. Yeah.
Do you want to sell your cars and watches?
I did. Yeah. It's like, okay, this is my thing. I don't like watches and I don't like cars. I like content, and the content, this is something that I learned. Okay. Watches are not good for content. Cars are great for content. Like, for example, the car that I just bought, I was less excited about driving the car and receiving the car, and I'm more excited about the content and the views and what it's going to do for my personal brand. I'm way more excited about that. That's why I got rid of the Ferrari so quick. I got it, I launched it, I posted about it, and I didn't give a fuck about it after that. It'll probably be the same thing with this car. It's like, bro, matter of fact, I like the cheaper cars. It does the same thing to me that anything else does. Like, I like content more. I'm not a car guy. I'm not a watch guy. I just like what it can do for content.
On the content thing, when did you kind of have this like personality shift? I don't want to say personality shift, or like showing a different side of yourself in the content, from like less serious, long hair. I know that you lost a lot of weight and got pretty like jacked, honestly. Like, when was that? Did that all kind of happen simultaneously?
No, I've always been not serious in my content. I could literally scroll back to like a year and a half or 2 years ago, and I'm, acting crazy, saying crazy shit on TikTok. Like, I can literally think back to when I was in Utah and I was making.
I feel like it's ramped up though a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely has. Like, I show a little bit more of my personality now. But that's more so because of the content shift that I've seen on TikTok and on Instagram, where, especially for me, for trading, 60 seconds is not enough time to be able to teach these people how to day trade. 60 seconds is not even enough time to explain a single confluence on day trading. So I see TikTok and Instagram as my way to show them my personality, show them who I am, have them love me for me. And then from there, it's like, awesome. They'll follow if they like me for me, or they'll follow me because whatever, I taught them how to trade. And whatever, if they see like, oh, how does this dude have all this money? They can do the work themselves and then find me on YouTube, and then I can explain how I do what I do. But on Instagram and TikTok, it's like, I would much rather I treat it as just like a vlog of like my day, and I just like act stupid, have fun. And I think it's just like a much better way to treat those platforms. Like, sometimes I'll drop like a little piece of trading game or some motivational shit. But dude, you just gotta make the videos that apply to those platforms. And people on TikTok, they want to rot, like they want to see funny shit. So I give the people what they want.
Yeah, dude, you and Cookie King, guys, have been hanging out with Cookie King a lot lately. And if you know who that is, if you don't know who that is, then you are not like on brain rot TikTok. But like, you guys have totally changed the way that I think about content. Like, I used to just think it was like, make a perfect video, so it's the highest leverage, so it goes the most viral. But like, you kind of think of it as post so much, low effort, so it feels like organic. And then people just binge watch all your videos because they want like to like watch your day unfold. I don't know.
Like, some videos I'm just posting just to post, and like, if it happens to go viral, bet. And then there's some video ideas where I'm just like, I know this is going to go viral, and like, not that I put more time into it, it's probably like an extra minute, but like, just make sure that I get like whatever the hook right, and like make sure it's all timed out well, because I know that it's a good idea. But yeah, I'm just spamming on there.
How many times do you post a day, or like, what's the most you post in a day?
Bro, recently, my original record was like 50 in a day, and then I broke it. I think I posted like 67. Wow, 67 again. But no, it actually was 67 times in a day when I was in Puerto Rico, and I was on like a 72-hour water fast. I had nothing else to do. I wasn't eating. I wasn't doing anything. So I was just like posting on TikTok. But yeah, I'll usually do like 20 to like 40 a day.
And you said you were the first person to start kind of spam posting. Or have you seen some other? I've seen some other people do it like over the years on TikTok. But
Yeah, no, I don't think I was the first person to do like the spam posting thing.
But you're the first person that's like a successful entrepreneur that has a real business and makes real content that's done it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Do you think that's like gonna be the new method, or do you think this is kind of like a wave?
Well, I've seen people try and do what I do as well, but it's like the content that I make, like that's just like me. Like that's just how I act, and that's what I like doing. Like I like making those videos, and then when you see someone else try and do it, you can tell that they don't enjoy doing it, and you can tell that it's forced, and it's like nobody wants to watch that. And then even then, like I see a lot of money entrepreneurs, they try and do what I do, or they'll try and make like a funny or like kind of like on the edge type of video, and all the comments are like shut up, bro, you're not TJR. And it's like I feel bad, but it's true. Like you can see that it's forced. So just be yourself in content, and people will love you for you, hopefully, if they actually like you, you know?
Do you think that spam account, or I don't want to call it a spam account, but like do you think that's made you more money? Like do you think that converts to like growing your community?
I think every follower is worth some sort of dollar amount for sure. And like just down the line, whether it's, you know, paying via YouTube, like like AdSense, or whether they buy from my clothing brand, or whether they actually are interested in trading and want me to mentor them, I think no matter what, a follower is going to convert into some sort of money. So yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. What's one conspiracy theory you 100% believe is true?
Almost all of them, bro. Almost all of them. I'm like so in the rabbit hole with everything. Like, where do you even begin? All of it's bullshit. Like, I don't even know what one I could think of off the top of my head. I feel like a lot of the shit that you see, I'm not like super mega like conspiracy theorist, like to the point where it's like that's absurd. But there's a lot of shit where it's like you just have to use your brain, where it's like that did not happen, or this is not true. Where like I feel like if anybody with a reasonable or sensible IQ, and I feel like most people that are successful know these things as well. They're like smart enough to know that whatever is being pushed on in the media, or whatever is being said about a certain thing is bullshit, and it's because they have that high IQ to be able to identify the bullshit that they're successful. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things, but
if you had to give me like one you went deep into recently.
The Big 19, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that the injections, like, does it make you sick? 100%, bro. 100%. I mean, a bunch of people died from it. But I think the measures that were taken was ridiculous, and the things that people were forced to do because of it was ridiculous. And also, because I'm a trader and because I look at the charts, there was mass manipulation of financial markets during that time. And that's something that I try and talk about it on YouTube videos, but like I haven't, whatever. It's just like no reason to do like a full YouTube video on it, but like it's super blatantly obvious of the mass liquidations of all of that. And you would expect that if it was as bad as it was, like things would have been worse, but it wasn't.
How many of these events and like politics and stuff are really just like come down to market manipulation?
Bro, damn near everything in the news is a whole bunch of shit. Whatever you see in the news and whatever they're telling you to do the fucking opposite, and you'll probably end up in a good position. Like, everyone was freaking out about the tariff news. If you bought then, you would be rich. Everybody was freaking out about COVID-19. And talking about worldwide pandemic. Yes, a whole bunch of people are getting sick, and that really fucking sucks. But causing this mass fear, like, you are keeping these people stuck. And it's like, you know what you're doing, and I know what you're doing. So it's just like, yeah, dude, a lot of times the media is just whatever. They're trying to swing people's emotions. It's what they're supposed to do. It's what they're paid to do. So you can't really hate on them for it. But yeah, dude, I think just like news in general, either one, watch it and know that the majority of it is bullshit and do the opposite of it, or just don't watch it at all. Just stay out of it.
Yeah, it's really interesting because if you take someone like you who knows how to extract capital from like based on fear and greed, and then I don't know, you take someone like me, let's say, who can make a piece of content about something that will go viral and change people's sentiment about it. Like us working together, like media and financial markets can just wipe people like constantly.
Yes, I mean, yeah, they're
And you think that's just
doing that at a grand scale. Yes, it happens, bro. It happens all the time. That's literally how the markets move. The market every single morning at New York Stock Exchange Open, there's manipulation causing people to think that price is going to go in one way, and then it goes in the opposite way. That shit happens on a daily basis. It has to. Like the events that are happening are real, you know, but it's the way that they're framed. So like,
So
I'm not saying that the news is fake. That's retarded. But I'm just saying that the way that it's framed, and again, I'm not upset at them because that's their job. They have to report on it. It's just the way that it's being reported, and it's the way that they're making people act and the way that they're making people feel off of these headlines is not it's not okay.
And they ignore certain headlines that would go against what's positive for them in terms of manipulation. Interesting.
Yeah, but that's just like any business, you know? So it's like you can't, again, like I try and be open-minded about this. You can't really hate on it. It's like, oh, if they were to report on something that would negatively affect their business or the people that are supporting their business, then what? They wouldn't. People always get mad at like certain news channels because it's like, rah, you didn't post about this positive thing that happened, or like, oh, you only covered the negative thing that happened. And it's like, you got to think about the people that are backing these companies. And it's like, obviously they didn't report on it because if they did, then it would negatively affect the person that's running the whole thing. So it's like, again, let's use our brains here.
Do you think Trump is good for the market?
Yes, but not long term. Again, like I said, 2025, I think will be great. I think the entire time that he's in office will be great for the short term, but who knows what happens following that. I think we could potentially get like just like we're just like building up onto this cliff, and then like I think like right when he like exits presidency, everyone's gonna be like, holy shit, we're making so much money, and then it just like sets the next president up for just like death drop. Potentially. Only time will tell.
Do some like swing trades on some of these events when they're so obvious to you?
Well, no, because it's just all speculation. Like I'm saying that right now, but things could change. And yeah, like I guess I do take like some swing trades. Like when these drastic crashes happen, it's like, okay, we know the S&P 500 moves right and higher consistently over time. So it's like when a flash crash happens, it's like you are dumb to not be throwing money at it. Genuinely, you're dumb. I'm not a financial advisor, but history has repeated itself every single fucking time with the S&P 500, and it hasn't failed yet. So I'm going to put my money on that.
Like, what's something you spend a lot on that feels really worth it?
Worth it? I'm in this great position where almost all dumb purchases to most people actually are worth it to me, where most people, when they make those purchases, it's dumb. But for me, I have this personal brand and social media where I can post about these things, and it actually is beneficial. So
I guess worth it in like a different way. Like maybe not thinking from content, but maybe like security, so you feel safe, or like a PJ because it's like way more comfortable.
Experiences for sure. Yeah, I think just, yeah, like, I don't know, you put all those together, like what made that Europe trip 1,000,000% worth it? We got a big ass villa, we got a private jet, we had security, we had a chef, and it just like makes things seamless, and you can just have the best time ever with your friends. So whatever, you guys don't have to get a private jet, you guys don't have to get a big ass villa, but spend money to be able to have a seamless and awesome time with your friends. That's worth it.
Did you drop out of college?
Yeah. I was in college for 2 years.
Where'd you go to?
University of Utah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I need to go to Utah. It looks fun. But
it's beautiful.
So you were there for 2 years. What year was that?
I got into school 2020.
Yeah. Okay. So right in COVID. So we dropped out around the same time, actually. I think I'm a year older than you. What was that conversation like with your parents?
Horrible. Yeah, my great grandparents started a private school in California. My dad now like helps run that school. A lot of family members work at that school. So just super by the book family. Nothing wrong with that, but it wasn't for me. And yeah, I just wanted to do something else with my life. I wanted to do the day trading thing. And for them, with that background, with like kind of nobody else in my family having any sort of like whatever like entrepreneurial type of journey besides my great grandpa starting the school, it was a difficult conversation to have for sure. And it took a lot of like prying and convincing. And then it got to the point where I was like, dog, I have money. So like, you can't really even say anything to me now. This is what I'm going to do. And yeah, but like at the start I was like, I don't want to do this. I wasn't showing up to classes. And it was, difficult conversations because I was like, I don't like, why am I even here? And I was making good money too. But still it was like, you don't know if this is going to last forever. Like this isn't sustainable because they had seen my history where like I was losing so much money trading and I was put in like horrible positions. And like they saw what day trading did to me and they were just trying to protect me from that happening again. Because they saw ups and they also saw downs. Like I made a whole bunch of money trading and then I lost it all like in front of their faces and they saw the emotional swings that had with me. So it was coming out of a place of love for sure.
In that time period, like high school, roughly, did you always kind of make it clear that you never wanted to go to college to begin with?
I don't know. I feel like I was just one of those kids in school where whenever someone asked me what I wanted to do, I was just like, I don't know. And I didn't even know if day trading was like 1,000,000% the thing that I wanted to do. But I just kept saying, I don't know, because all the regular jobs just sounded horrible to me. And it kind of freaked me out. I was like, I genuinely don't know what I want to do with my life. And at the time, like trading, like I wasn't doing well, but I loved doing it. So it was hard to say like, this is what I'm going to do with my life. So yeah, I was just kind of like, I don't fucking know. And it freaked me out.
What was the point that you had? I think it was negative $2,035, something along those lines.
Yeah, negative $2,000 in my bank account. That shit sucked.
When was that?
That was going from high school into college.
And how did you kind of get to that point?
How did I get there? Yeah, so like just wasn't making any money and or I was spending a whole bunch of money like trying to make money trading and it wasn't working out, and I was also half-assing it. I was also not making the best life decisions. And yeah, I like just there was like a subscription that came through, hit my bank account. I don't know how like that even happened, like how it got to that negative 2,000 point, but it happened. And I just remember getting texts from my parents saying like, yo, you need to fix this. And I was like, fuck, like, and I literally asked them, I was like, can like you help me with this? And they were like, what are you going to do about it? And I was like, shit, I need to get my life together. That was like my rock bottom point, like hitting that and realizing I'm the reason for my failures, and realizing that my parents are going to love and support me. At the time, it didn't feel that way, but obviously I know that now. But nobody can save you except for yourself. So that was like a big reality check for me. And once I learned that lesson, my life has been boom, through the freaking roof. Like that was my bottom tick right there.
Were you close to taking your life around that point?
Yeah, no, I attempted to take my own life multiple times. That shit was not a good place whatsoever. It wasn't even because of the money. It was just like I was not mentally okay. There was a lot of factors, like even now I still deal with it. I think it's just like something in my brain, like you never feel like you're enough, and that also causes you to sometimes be massively successful because you never feel like you're enough and you always want to do more and you always want to do better. And it was like a mix of that, me looking at my life, being like, I'm failing myself because I want to do these great things with my life. I'm also failing my parents because I'm not doing the things that they want me to do with my life. And I just felt like nobody loved me, and I didn't even love myself at the time. So it was like, what am I supposed to do?
Would you say that's still a journey for you?
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%. But now, I used to always feel lonely, but now I love being alone. And those are two very different things, being lonely and being alone. Lonely is when you can't handle the voices in your head, or you can't handle being alone with yourself and actually sitting yourself down and looking yourself in the mirror. Like, there's a lot of people that can't do that aren't comfortable in their own skin, so they surround themselves with people all the time, so they're distracted about who they are as a person. And that was me, and I distracted myself not with other people but with substances. And then once I like started to figure myself out and kind of grow into my own skin, now I love being alone, but there's still that thing in my head that's just always like, you're not doing good enough. Like, I even now, like, I can sometimes pull myself out and be like, holy shit, bro, you're 23 years old. You are like massively successful. You have like millions of followers. Everyone fucking loves you on social media. Whatever, your parents are proud of you, all of these things, but there's just, I don't know what it is. There's just like something in my head where it's like, you're just not good enough. It's I never satisfy myself.
It's a hard one because you would assume that once you get all the things, it doesn't.
Oh
like,
yeah,
it would
hell
satisfy
no.
everything.
Fuck no. Yeah, no. Money doesn't buy happiness, and money doesn't satisfy anything ever. You know, that's something that I'm still trying to figure out. Hopefully, I can. I know that it's possible.
Are you religious?
Yeah, I am.
Were you religious during those time periods, you think?
No, so that was a huge thing. That was also part of like the reason for, I think, the like problems I guess I had with my family. I grew up in a church that every single person in my entire family, like, go as far left and as far right on the family tree. Everyone is a part of this religion. So grew up with that in high school or throughout my entire life, and then going from high school to college, like, it wasn't for me. And again, that was partially like part of the reason why I probably like had struggled with mental health. And it was just like, okay, like, I had conversations with my parents, again, because everybody in my family is a part of this religion. And again, this is no hate to the religion. It just, some things don't make sense to me about it. So, and everybody that's a part of that religion, really great people. Literally can't say anything bad about any of them. So by all means, not throwing shade. But it just wasn't for me. Didn't really make too much sense to me. And that like caused like a little rift between my parents and then also my connection to God. And that was definitely like that period of my life was just bad. So reconnecting.
What do you think was the moment that kind of pulled you from rock bottom?
That negative 2000. It was just like, that was like the point where like, I've always been the type of person to never want or ask. I hate when people want to do stuff for me, or I hate when people tell me what to do, or I hate when someone's the boss of me or feels like they have any sort of power or ownership of me. And when I hit negative $2,000 in my bank account, that was like the first time that I ever felt like so vulnerable enough to be like, help me. And there, again, thank goodness that they said this, but they were like, no, you know? And that was when I was like, oh, like, I need to do this. So yeah, that was like a big vulnerable moment. I was like, fuck, like, I hate doing this. I don't want to do this, but this is like, whatever, just like a grasp. And look, thank goodness that it didn't happen, because if they bailed me out, then I definitely wouldn't be in this position that I'm in now. Learned a lot of things from that.
I really resonate with your story, man. Maybe because we're in a somewhat similar position. But one thing I really related to is that you used to jailbreak phones in school. I used to do that shit. It was like, I was really young when I did that shit. It's like 3rd grade or like 4th grade or something.
Oh
dude.
wow. Yeah, no, that's earlier than me. I didn't even start with jailbreaking iPhones. I would root Androids. I was on the Androids, and that was like what the jailbreak version of like what jailbreaking was called on Androids. You would like root in air.
What games
Android.
did you hack? I watched your video and they put assets of Clash of Clans, and I was like, you can't hack that because it's a server game.
At the time, you could though. Like very early on, you could.
Oh,
but
early
then,
on,
but then
okay.
your shit would get wiped and your shit would get banned. But yeah, dude. I mean, any game that I could. Like,
Dude, I always did it on Pokemon Go.
oh, that one was the easiest one to hack. That one was so easy.
It was like location spoofing.
Yeah. You would put yourself in San Francisco or like whatever in Australia to get like the location based ones.
Did you learn all that shit on YouTube? Were you like a YouTube kid?
I was a YouTube kid. I was always super curious about like random things. I can't even remember where like I learned that. I learned how to root an Android off of some like random forum that I found, where they would just like put like whatever the links or the files that you had to like put on your phone to be able to do it.
I used to always go on YouTube and search like how to get unlimited gems and Clash of Clans, and then I get like scammed hella, and then you find one guy that tells you what Cydia is.
Exactly. Yes, bro. Those scams, I got rinsed into those before too. You know, you click the link and then it's just like viruses everywhere, just like crazy pop-ups. Yeah, bro. Those were the worst.
Why did you almost get kicked out of a club in Dubai?
Your fits were too fucking hard. Nah, listen. Okay, so this is the story of how me and my friend got nerfed, or almost got nerfed at the door for having 2 fucking hard fits. So
Was it rob the bank?
no, it was with me and Carson, my best friend. So this is what happened. I think that clip is hilarious too, because I rewatch it and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was just like being so over dramatic, but this actually happened. I'll say it in a much normal manner. So yeah, full lore on getting nerfed at the door. I'm like getting ready to go out in Dubai, and I know that the majority of the people there dress like with regular pants, regular button-up shirt, you know, like not very flashy, and we have just a whole bunch of streetwear stuff with us. So I'm talking with the owner of this club, and I got put into contact with him because we were going to go see our friends play at this club. Cool. So I send him a picture of my outfit beforehand, and I'm wearing like, it's just like a vest that's like cut off. And I know that that's like risky for some clubs. Like they don't allow you to wear like tank tops or like cutoffs. And I'm like, this is what I want to wear. So I send him a picture of it. And I'm like, is this okay? And he was like, usually no, but for you, yes. And I was like, cool. So we go to the club, and then we get to the door, and the bouncer's just like, looks us up and down, and he's just like, yeah, not today, guys. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, oh yeah, we don't let people like dress like this into the club. He's like, you guys have chains on, you have a cutoff. And then Carson was wearing like a so funny, a Satoshi Nakamoto flannel that has like whatever, like fucking, it's not glitter, but it's just like rhinestones all over it. So it's super bright and flashy. So like big ass chains, flashy clothing, cut off tank top, cut off vest. And he was like, yeah, it's not going to happen. And I was like, bro, like, this is what your boss said, whatever. And he was like, oh shit. Okay, you guys are good. So they let us in. And then after the fact, once they let us in, the dude was like, by the way, I think the fits are awesome. It's just like not what we usually do. So that's like the whole story of us almost getting nerfed at the door for us wearing ridiculously hard outfits. And everybody in the club was agreeing with us. They were like, damn, like that shit's fly. So yeah, that's the whole lore on that one.
Does that happen a lot?
Nah, because I mean, like, we don't go. How should I phrase this? We don't go out too often, but when we go out, we go out. And most of the time when we do go out, it's either an event that doesn't necessarily have a dress code, so we can wear whatever we want. It's like a festival, you know, bitches are there with like damn near nothing on, so we can do whatever we want. Or it's like club space, and they don't have a dress code either. So I don't really like the clubs that are like, you have to dress a certain way. Like, again, they're like purposely trying to like nerf you, like purposely trying to make it so that like everybody in there, like it's like equal, like you're the same character. Like, bro, let me show like who I am, like my personality with like the clothes that I'm wearing, you know? Like that's part of the fun about going out. It's like looking good, feeling good, putting on what you want to wear. And like, I don't know, it's like, it's fun to do.
Yeah, why do you think they want everyone to look the same?
Okay, this is just a guess. I think that the majority of rich guys have negative game, and those are the people that are spending the most amount of money, and they, on top of having negative game, have negative drip, and in turn, they just need the playing fields to be leveled. That's just a guess. It's probably
That's
not true.
what I was hoping you'd say. Yeah,
but I think the right answer is. I think clubs just, they want to keep it on brand.
Yeah,
so like they just want to, like when there's pictures taken in there, they want people dressed a certain way to give their club or their restaurant a certain vibe or a certain aesthetic that they want to keep like standard. They don't want someone walking in there with like a cut off tank top and like big ass chains when it's supposed to be like formal, you know?
Clubs are lame, or like do you think they're cool?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. The Dubai, I can't remember what club, oh, dude, what was it called? The beach club that we went to was freaking dope. I didn't go out to any other clubs in Dubai, but the one club that we went out to in Dubai, it was awesome. It was cool.
Would you move there, or do you like it PR better?
Nah, I wouldn't move there. It's too far away from home, okay, living on the Palm seems awesome. Living on the Palm seems super similar to Puerto Rico, where like, you're there, you're in your house, you're in the gated neighborhood, and you can get a lot of work done there. Like you're kind of secluded. But I feel like I wouldn't feel lonely, but I would want to go somewhere. And I guess Dubai, like you do have the downtown city area, so like it's solid. It kind of like with Puerto Rico, like I go to Miami to whatever, see my younger friends, and go do city stuff. I don't think I would move there. It's too far away. Some of it feels a little bit fake to me. But that's the same with anywhere else that you go, you know?
This is a segment called This or That. You just choose one. You can tell me more, why, if you want. If you don't, that's cool. Stocks or crypto?
Dude, I mean, both of them are so advantageous, but in their own ways.
Damn, I give you a hard one off the bat. Okay, let me go Tesla or NVIDIA.
That one's tough too, NVIDIA.
Ooh, Bear Bricks or Cause?
Cause are pretty cool, yeah.
Bitcoin or Solana?
Bitcoin for sure.
Interesting. Rolex or Patek?
Patek for sure.
Patek, yes.
Yeah.
G-Shock or Richard Mille?
I don't know. Both of them are cool. RM though, because it holds weight. Like people see it and they're just like, yeah, you got it.
I don't know what these are, but break of structure or liquidity sweep?
Liquidity sweep. You need a liquidity sweep before looking for a break of structure.
Order blocks or fair value gaps?
Fair value gaps for sure.
You're very certain about these. Liquidity grab or breakout trade?
I don't like breakouts because breakouts can frequently be liquidity grabs.
Cash flow or net worth?
It depends. Like cash flow, probably just because I'm not saying that having whatever a high cash flow is better than having a high net worth. I'm just thinking about what I would rather have. If I have a high net worth but I'm not doing anything, I think that would suck. Versus if I have high cash flow, then that probably means I'm actively doing something on a daily basis and I enjoy keeping myself busy and working. So
I agree with that. Dubai or Miami?
Miami, but only for the things that I love Miami for. Like the food and going out. Yeah. So that's all Miami's good for.
Okay, if you could only have one, 5 million in cash or 1 million in Bitcoin?
And it just has to stay in that forever, and I'm not allowed to like change it?
Correct.
Oh, then that's obvious. Bitcoin. Duh.
Really?
Yes. What if 5 million in cash?
Yeah, we could push it over to fair.
Well, yeah, but you said I couldn't change it.
Yeah.
Right. So if it's just like 5 million in cash, I can't buy anything. I can't do anything with it.
Okay, how about this? 5 million S&P or 1 million Bitcoin?
Okay, so that changes the game. I would still go 1 million in Bitcoin. The only reason for that is because of the advancements that we're making, and eventually we're going to be able to take loans out against our crypto. Right now, if you wanted the money right now, then having it in the S&P would be great, because then you can take a loan against the S&P 500 and whatever, buy a house or make other investments with that money. But I think that Bitcoin has a higher upside, so you're going to make more money on your Bitcoin, and then eventually down the line, with that more money in Bitcoin, you'll be able to take out a loan against that, and then in turn be able to make even more money.
It's an interesting business. Debt, Bitcoin debt. First class or private jet?
It depends on the distance. Private jet if it's a short flight. First class 1 trillion% if it's a long flight.
Million followers or $1 million?
Million followers can make you way more than $1 million.
You're one of the few people who has that case, but I like that.
Really?
Oh, bro. Everyone. I don't know how much you've met LA influencers, but like there's so many people with like 10, 20, 30 million followers that like have no money.
Well, yeah, but they're dumb. So that's the difference. They're not good at anything besides content. And even that, like, well, no, they're clearly good at content because they got all those followers, but it's the only thing that they're good at. So
Ferrari or Hellcat?
Oh, Ferrari for sure.
Cullinan or Bravis?
Cullinan.
You think Warren Buffett gives bad trading advice?
When did I say that?
You tweeted a photo of you throwing his book in the trash.
No, that wasn't his book. That was Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. That is Warren Buffett's mentor. Thank you very much. But that was a joke. It was a joke because crypto was ripping at the time, and Warren Buffett like just announced that like he was like just sold like a whole bunch of stocks and is like all cash. I think the reason why he did that is like imagine you have such a good track record over all this time and you're getting old and you're like the goat of all goats, and it's like, how can I like not fuck up my legacy? Play that shit safe, like sell your positions, make money, be cash, be stable while you're getting old. Maybe you lost your edge. I don't think he lost his edge. One of the best investors of all time, but it's just a great way to, not necessarily be that risky. And that's like, that happened. He like sold a bunch of stock, went like super heavy in cash at, in my opinion, a great time to be investing. And everyone was just like kind of like clowning him because everything like started ripping after that. So that was funny. That book's really good too, Intelligent Investor. It's super, super, super technical, very difficult read, but very good book.
Do you think AI will kill human traders?
I think AI will kill humans. This is actually something that I want to talk about, that I have talked to a lot of my friends about. We as humans created a new species, which is AI. And the second that we give AI like I guess ligaments and bodies, AI is okay. Again, AI has technically or eventually it will have no flaws. Humans have flaws in decision making, in everything, because we're human. We take action based off of emotions, not off of data, very frequently. The majority of humans, and that's what causes bad things to happen, because they act off of emotions, not off of data. Because if we acted off of data, then things would be far better than they are, like making logical and sound decisions instead of emotional decisions. So we created this new species of AI that can think for itself, that can make very logical decisions, that does everything, or ideally does everything correctly. And then when that evolves and that can be put or moved into these bodies or robots, what good are humans anymore?
Would you get Neuralink?
See, that's where this is another theory that I have, where I think eventually we'll get to the point where like humans can be merged with AI, where it's like you have like the human like memories that you have, like there will be a way where you can grab like all the memories and like the shit that you had or have as a human, and you can just like live forever because you're just like a chip at that point, which is again freaky. And you're just in this body that like can live forever and has no flaws. I would not like to be the first person that puts that in their dome piece. I think that's a little bit spooky. Humans and life in general, it's supposed to be recycled. It's supposed to, have a start and have an end. So I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to stop that process.
I don't know if you openly talk about this, but what kind of drugs do you take?
Jeez. Okay. Well, come on, dude. This is not recommendation to anybody.
What drugs do you recommend?
Yeah. Okay. This is my piece of advice. I was a super heavy stoner. That's dumb. Don't do that. And I was what a lot of people call a productive stoner. I was making multiple six figures a month while getting high and being high throughout the entire day. But I stopped smoking around a year and a half or like 2 years ago. Can't even remember the last time that I did it. And it drastically improved my life by stopping. Like, I think, especially when it's a drug that you can take or use on a daily basis. And for me, that's my drug of choice. So like if you have a drug of choice and you're like, man, I really like this to the point where you want to take it every day, it's probably not the best. So whatever that may be for you, you should probably stay away from it. Some people it's alcohol, some people it's weed. So that was like the thing for me. I loved it. It honestly, it made me feel great. And honestly, it sounds great right now, but I'm not going to do it because I know that it slows me down. It hinders me from getting to where I want to go with my life.
How is your transformation, like you changing the way you look, change your life? Like, what have you noticed?
Because
dude, you look so crazy different. It's insane.
Yeah. I was in a weird spot in my life when I first moved to Puerto Rico, where I was actually in pretty good shape moving to Puerto Rico with like my long hair. And then like, I think I just got really comfortable. I was in like a long-term relationship. I was making a lot of money. And I just let myself go a little bit. I wasn't like trying to improve myself like monetarily, like physically, like health wise. And then there was just, I don't even know what it was. I think it was like all of it just like caught up with me, where like one day I looked in the mirror and I was like, I don't really like this guy. I don't like where this is heading. I don't really like myself. And I was like, fuck it. Like, I want to change this. So I changed a lot of things in my life. I even changed where I was living. I moved out of that old house. I just like changed everything. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to lose all this weight. I'm going to cut my hair. I'm going to get a bunch of tattoos. I'm going to change where I'm living. Whatever, like cut off a couple people. And yeah, I think it's not that like every single one of those things was like the thing that was holding me back. It was just like I wanted to do a drastic change to my life and how I looked. And yeah, no, it's been super beneficial for my life. I feel way happier. I feel super comfortable. I feel super confident. And yeah, it's been a good change.
Yeah, I think changing the environment is a big one for a lot of people that they don't think about. It's really uncomfortable to do that. But dude, I cannot imagine not being in a long-term relationship, living in Dorado. Because there's just like...
It's hard, yeah. I've been doing it, though. I'm not really interested in, like, obviously, like girls are great and all, but I'm the type of person that doesn't really need to be going on dates frequently, or going out frequently to talk to girls. Like, if it happens, then it happens. And yeah, like I'm the type of person where it kind of just has to like fall into my lap and just like be like right place, right time. And like I will never go out of my way to like chase a female or like go out of my way to like want to go on a date with a girl. Like almost every single girl that I've end up like getting in a relationship to or like talking to consistently has just been like a supernatural way about going out things. I'm never like going out of my way to whatever, like chase girls. So I got bigger and better things to do, dude. It's a time waster.
I think that most guys probably will have to approach girls. But I mean, you should, as a guy, try to get to a place where it can fall into your lap. I just don't think that's realistic for most people, but that's because they should be working on themselves to get to that place.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, if you're not in that, yeah, I guess I'm in like somewhat of a fortunate position. I don't want to sound like cocky or like arrogant, but yeah, I think it definitely happens to me where like I do have the choice and the option to be like, sure, like I like there's several girls that might want me and I can just be like yes or no, and like that's a decision that I can make versus most guys it's kind of like I really want her but she doesn't want me, you know.
I know what you mean. Have you ever been scared about getting canceled? Like, does it freak you out at all? Like any emotion about it?
Fuck no.
You just think it's funny?
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, I'm going to act however I want on social media. First of all, because that's me, and if people don't like it, so be it. And like that's what social media was supposed to be from the jump, to be yourself and show who you are. Nowadays people have it so twisted. They're showing fake shit. Like they're showing like, okay, there's actually a lot of people. This is something I want to talk about. There's so many influencers that act a certain way or say that they're a certain way online, and in person they aren't that. And then it causes them to have an identity crisis. And then it causes them to be insanely self-conscious. And then they wonder why they have mental health issues. And it's like, because you're playing a character that everybody loves you for, but deep down, you know that you're not that person. So I would much rather be so true to myself, have people hate me for being me, than having people love me for someone that I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I don't think people realize the extent to which it's true. Like sometimes people are the exact opposite of the
it's crazy.
Actor that they play online. Who's the most impressive person you've ever met?
The owner of Chatterbait. You see? No, I'm kidding. The reason why the reason why I said that because I was just making fun of him yesterday for that. I was making fun of him because that clip went crazy, and I was like, bro, ain't no way you said the owner of Chatterbait, dude. Like you could have thought of anybody else. Like what, bro? Insanity. Okay, most impressive person that I've met.
And it doesn't have to be like, some people take it the wrong way. I actually want your answer of like person who impressed you the most.
Yeah. There's a couple people that I could do for this one. You know who I'm going to give this one to? Jordan Welch. He is someone that I'm very frequently impressed with, and it doesn't even have to do with like financially, but the way that he thinks about things, he's super level-headed, where even I'll come to him with some like grand idea or something that I think he'll be pumped about, that like I want him to be on board with or whatever, and I know it's something that he would he would fully love, but he comes at it with like such a level-headed perspective, and he's just like, I don't know, like, yeah, it's hard to even put into words like how he thinks about certain things, but super level-headed. And there was a case like just recently where it happened, where like I brought something up to him, some idea that like I knew that he would be like fully excited about, but also he was like bringing up the pros and cons of like the situation, like some things that wouldn't work out, that would work out. And then also he's just like a super humble dude, has been around like, you know, some of the richest people on earth. And knows like some of the most famous people like in our space, and just like remains super humble the entire time. He's like just like a super wise person. So yeah, shout out to Jordan.
He seems like a really nice guy. I need to do a podcast with him. We've talked a little bit, but like, I can kind of get that from him.
It's really hard to see without knowing him personally, I think, because the way that he does YouTube, like YouTube's a business for him. But like in person, it's, yeah, bro, I'm always impressed with like how he can handle himself in certain situations, how he approaches certain things, how he thinks about certain things. Yeah. His brain is like super solid. Yeah.
TJR, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
That's hard. This isn't necessarily someone saying it directly to me. This is another one of my friends. Shout out to his online name is Higher Up Wellness, Michael. And it wasn't even directly told to me, but I love this. And I think I was like even like practicing it before he even like made this video, but it's super true. And I think a lot of people need to hear it. Your personality is your biggest superpower. So live life to the truest form of you. And by doing that, you will be able to love life, love what you do every single day, and potentially and probably make as much money as you could ever imagine. Because there's ways that you can monetize every single one of your hobbies, everything that makes you happy. And even if you're not making the most amount of money, you're going to be loving your life doing it. And that's all that matters.
What's the worst piece of advice you've ever received?
It's taking advice and acting on advice that you don't align with. So just because someone's in a better position or even in a worse position than you, and they're telling you to do something, yet you don't believe it'll work out, or you don't necessarily align with that piece of advice that they're giving you, the actions that you take following that because of that disbelief or because of that misalignment, you will likely fail. So I would much rather either one, take advice from people, or take advice with like that makes sense to me and that I'm aligned with, or take advice from people that I'm aligned with that follow like what I'm trying to do with my life. Because it's one thing for someone to say like, hey, like I'll bring this back to investing. Every single very wealthy person that I know has told me different ways to preserve their wealth. Every single person has a different investing strategy, and all of them are super wealthy. There's people that say you have to put all your money in real estate. There's people that say fuck real estate, it's pretty much a full-time job. There's some people that say equity's everything. There's some people that say, oh, never take equity, you want to have a lot of cash flow. It's all different, and it's whatever works for you. So when I'm looking to take advice, obviously I'm open-minded, but I'm thinking, if this doesn't align with how I feel and how I think, then it's probably not going to work out in my favor.
Well, everyone, this has been your guest, Tyler, TJR. This is the Jack Neel Podcast. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks, bro.